There was a point in time where you thought you were going to continue at university and then just life got busy and other things came your way. Life comes at you fast. I wouldn't be shocked if one day you decided to maybe go back to school because I think you just really love that environment. I don't think it fits
Yeah.
into your life right now.
It would
But
require that I don't have as much to do. That's the only way it would be possible for me to go back to school. I could not even imagine doing that now because school takes a lot of time and dedication. And if you're in it, you want to gain something out of it, not just the degree at the end of it, but you want to commit and learn whatever it is you're there to learn. And that takes a lot of mental energy. So it's really hard to have too many distractions. Although, like, the reality is most people have another distraction while they're in school. It's like impossible to not have anything. But I'm just saying, like, generally speaking, you want to make sure that you're well equipped and in the right space to attend school in order to get the most out of it for you.
But like I remember having classes where you'd see more mature students, and sometimes like I knew some. Sometimes it was clear they were doing that because they were trying to make like a change in the trajectory of their career or something like that. But I knew more than a couple people, older people who would go back to school. I want to say not out of a necessity, but out of like they're at a comfortable place later in their life and they just like learning.
I remember there was a librarian in one of our grad classes. I don't know if you were in that class or not,
Yeah.
but there was a librarian who like worked at the school library. I'm pretty sure.
And she was also just doing the classes. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she went back to get her master's degree, which is so cool.
Don't you need a master's to be a librarian? Like a master's of
I
library?
mean, or she could have been doing her PhD.
Yeah.
It was
No,
it was
I
a grad
remember what
class,
you're
so she could have already had a master's. You're right. Yeah.
You know what's interesting? There was also a police officer
Yep.
in our grad program. And I had some crazy conversations with that guy. And he really brought a lot of practicalities
Yeah,
to the
no, and-
conversations we were having about criminology.
I really appreciate that too about grad programs where you get more people who have different life experience. And sometimes it's way more valuable to a program because in all these classes and grad studies, like you often have to talk to each other to talk about theory and application, talk about your thesis, how you're going to apply it, what research you're going to do. And to have people with those kinds of different life experiences brings so much value to that subject matter. So we were in like criminology/sociology, and there was someone who'd been an on-duty police officer for like 30 years or something. They bring an incredible amount of knowledge and perspective to that, so we can have more functional and like productive conversations that don't just take into account the 22-year-old who like thinks they're a sociologist because they read a textbook. So I think it's important.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's important to have these conversations, not just from the perspective of people who have only ever been students. I think that's
Exactly,
a
yeah.
risk that I think you do see that play out in some programs or some courses sometimes, and it's kind of a disservice to learning.
Anyone can be a student.
Yes, maybe one day. We'll